describing things that are related to describing things, not necessarily all about IELTS, but about better speaking. Maybe I should try some normal speaking so that your speaking practice is a lot more varied than usual. Let us begin. Please understand that I will be asking anyone to practice. Okay? I will be asking anyone to practice at random. Normally what we do is that I ask you to raise your hand if you want to practice. But for the last few weeks, I've seen that a lot of you just come to watch and not practice. Trust me, if you don't practice, your speaking will not get better. You cannot get better by watching other people practice and just listening to what they're saying. You need to practice yourself. You need to speak yourself. All right. So today I'm going to ask any of you at random to speak to me. Okay?
Okay,
I hope you have your pencils and paper with you. Today what we're going to do is describing practice, describing activities. I will be showing you pictures. Okay? You'll observe the pictures for a little bit and then you will talk 1 minute about what you have observed in that picture. All right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Is the task clear? If it's not,
Yes.
please let me know. I'll repeat. All right, good. Now, I will be sharing the first picture with you. Please take notes. Note taking is good. Take notes. And then you will talk for 1 minute. Describe the picture. Whatever you're seeing, describe the picture. All right?
Yes.
Great. Just a moment, please. Oh,
Electricity has come.
yes. I am connected to my phone data hotspot, so even if the Wi-Fi, even when the Wi-Fi restarts, I won't be disconnected. Yay. All right.
Okay.
So let me show you the first picture. I will give you 1 minute to observe and then 1 minute to speak. Let me turn on my stopwatch. Here's the picture. Observe it for 1 minute. Your time starts now. All right. Your time is up. Now, please mute yourself. I will call someone out and then that person will unmute and speak. Please, the rest of you, mute yourself. Salim J.U. Sir, can you please unmute yourself?
Salam ma'am, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir. Are you ready? Can you speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Please turn on your video. Can you?
Ma'am, can you see me?
Not yet.
Ma'am, I opened my camera, but
All right. If it's not working, it's fine. Oh, I can see you now.
okay, miss. I would like to start, miss.
Yes. Begin.
Here is a picture of a family. I can say there are grandma, father, mother, and the son, Ivan, baby Ben, and their pet dog, whose name is Ozel. The picture shows that grandma is taking tea. Mother is also writing something. In front of mother, Ivan is drawing something with her different types of colors. Between Ivan and grandma, baby Ben is playing, sitting on the sofa.
All right.
After that,
Thank you very much. By the way, Salim sir, how are you? It's
I'm
been a
fine,
while
miss,
seeing you.
miss, but I'm fine, but I could not appear at the IELTS exam final. I am struggling with this. I can say that I have improved my listening, reading, and I am going to improving also. I'm going to also improving my writing skill, but I cannot practice speaking skill. So I would like to use this time properly with you when you will take this class, this workshop.
All right. Of course. No problem. Once a week, if you have a speaking partner, that would be also really good. Uh, your mates, your classmates can also help you with that. They can also practice with you. So if you can find someone from here you can speak with, that would be really good practice as well. And if you need any extra help, if you want to practice
Miss,
more,
I am doing. Miss,
yeah,
could I say something?
of course.
Miss, actually, I'm doing a job, so I have to take every week maximum 16 classes, and then I had to take answer escapes, homework,
I know,
classwork.
life of a teacher, right? I
Yes,
know. But for IELTS is your, it's an investment, right? For you,
yes,
it's an investment. So you have to, you need to just make some time, at least 5 to 10 minutes to speak, to practice. All right. And it's no use if you cannot practice with someone else. There's just so much you can do practicing by yourself. But these weekly practice classes are really going to be good for you. Now,
yes.
let's come back to the content. Sir, there is no mom in this picture, by the way. Both of those are children. There are 3 kids. There are 3 children in this picture. And this girl behind grandma, she is doing math. Can you see the calculator? She's probably doing homework, probably. And Evan, these look like stamps, or this looks like a scrapbook for stamps or pictures. So this is a family. I don't see the mother here. She's not in this picture. When you're describing something, try to describe in terms of colors, what you can see, the colors that you can see, especially the activities that you can see, like what's grandma doing, what's dad doing. Try to focus on those and the surroundings. Like this home seems very warm. The colors, the outlay, it seems very warm and cozy. Then there are homes that seem very mechanical. So words like these, when you describe colors, when you describe activities, those help. Those help. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. But your description was good. You could explain what each person was doing, where they are. Yeah. So
Yes.
all right. 1 minute was, yes, it was good. It was good. But you need
Thank
some more
you.
practice. You need some
Thank
more
you.
practice. Okay, sir. You can turn off
Okay.
your audio and video.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Yes, I can see your hand. Can you turn on your audio and video?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to ask you first whether this would be there in IELTS speaking as well.
Okay.
No.
This
Okay.
is a little bit of extra practice that we're doing just to help you describe things. You know,
Okay.
this is a describing activity. So you look at
Mhm.
something, you try to describe what you're seeing.
Mhm.
All right.
Right.
You want to practice?
Sure. Sure. Why not?
All right. Please turn on your video. You can.
Well, I can see there are 5 family members. They all are sitting in a living room. And the child, I would begin with the child, the youngest member of the family. He's sitting on the sofa and playing with a ball. His name is Ben. And then the awareness takes me to the children who are a bit grown up, Ivan and Cindy. They are sitting on a dining table or a table, circular, which is circular in shape, and there are 3 chairs, and on two, these 2 kids are sitting. Ivan is looking at his scrapbook, and probably there would be stamps or pictures which he would have collected. And Cindy, she is doing a calculation and putting it down on the notepad. And grandma is there, which is the eldest member of the family. She is sipping on a cup of coffee. And father, dad of probably, if I'm not wrong, it seems it would be Ivan's and Cindy's and Ben's father. And he's making coffee or tea for their family members. And a pet dog is lying on the footrest in front of the
All
fireplace,
right.
probably.
Thank you very much. That's
Fine.
really good description. I think some of your phrasing, for example, the dad is pouring himself some coffee or tea. So those better describe what's happening. And the rest of it is good. The surroundings, if you can add some details of the surroundings as well as the people, that makes the description much more solid. So,
Yeah, yes.
so that
I
would
would have
have
loved to have 2 minutes. Probably I would have covered that as well.
good point. Good point. But you have 1 minute. So yeah, whenever you're given a specific amount of time, you have to cover all of it, even if you're putting on a summary as a speech. Huh. So only describing the people within 1 minute, um, minus the surroundings, could be it's not the task. The task is describing describing the picture. So when you have 1 minute, try to come up with things that covers all of it. That would be much better.
So
Huh.
instead of, you mean to say, just asking in between, sorry about that. You mean to say that I should be not describing people that much, but I should be covering the windows are there and if a photograph is hanging on a wall and they are
Flowers,
painting
flowers.
these,
There's a vase of fresh flowers on the
yeah,
mantelpiece.
yes.
So when you're describing a picture, try to take in all of the aspects of the picture, not just one or two. Maybe go around and try to describe the entire surrounding, the entire setting. Huh.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
May I ask you one thing?
yes, of course.
So you mean to say that instead of describing people, it's more important to describe surroundings or how one should approach it?
No, not more important. I'm saying that you're covering people, you're describing people, you should describe surroundings as well,
Mhm.
along with the people, not just focusing on one aspect or one part of the picture, but as a whole, you should describe it. You should try
In
and
1
describe.
minute.
Yes, in 1
Okay.
minute.
Next time I'll try to do that.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, sir, you can turn off your audio and video for now. Okay, Fazlul Karim sir is raising his hand. Sir, can you wait for a few minutes? Let me ask someone else. Shumana ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's your turn. Please, can you please turn on your video?
No, ma'am.
All right. But try to turn on your video from the next time so that I can evaluate your facial expressions and how you speak. All right?
Okay, miss.
Please try to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Please begin.
Now I'm talk to about what I say. What I see. I see there is a family. They are busy with their activities. I saw that there is a dad who have 3 children. Cindy is busy with her homeworks or others activities. And even draw some pictures. And baby Bean play with his toys. And grandmother drinking tea, and father serve teas. And also there is a dog. It is sleeping.
All right. Is that all? All right. Thank you. Shona ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Very monotonous. You're just describing what each person is doing in one sentence. And it's monotonous, ekdom actonic. Okay. Could be called boring at one point. Like, if I'm listening to you, if I'm your examiner and I'm listening to you describe something like this, I would lose interest very fast. Just give me one moment, please. Just one moment. All right. Yeah, what I was saying, I would lose interest too fast. Monotony is something you have to avoid when you're speaking. Monotony is bad for speaking. When you're describing something, try to add more details to what you're saying. Like maybe Ben is playing with his toys. It's a ball. It's a multicolored ball on the sofa or on the couch. Dad is pouring himself a cup of tea. He probably takes both milk and sugar with it. Grandma is also enjoying a cup of tea on her armchair. Yes, on her armchair. Things like this, where everyone is sitting, where what they're doing, what part of the room they're in. So these are the things that you should be able to describe. Okay? And a little bit of fluency would be nice. You have a lot of mumbling. Work on that. You mumble a lot. Work on your mumbling. Okay. Any questions, Shubhana ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Fazlul Karim sir? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
All right. Ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm ready, ma'am.
All right. Your 1 minute begins now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I see a beautiful picture of a family, and in first scene, I can understand it's a more beautiful family, and all members are busy for their own activities, like Sandy is writing her maybe her homework, and Evan also also I think she's drawing. He is drawing, and grandma are having tea, and another thing is a beautiful baby is playing with a colorful ball, and dad is busy for preparing tea or coffee and for serving to the others, and any animals like I think dog, he is sleeping at now, and this home is very well decorated, and I think there are the two colorful windows, and top of this door beautiful sceneries hanging on the wall, and
All right.
also
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Sir, your description was really good. You can, I don't have any improvements for you other than what I've already told you before, a little bit of pronunciation, a little bit of words,
Yes,
the same things, but you're improving. I can see that you're improving.
thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much for trying. Now, you can turn off your video and audio.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I will ask all of you a question. Try to answer that. What time of the day do you think this picture shows? What time of the day do you think this picture shows? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it night? Is it evening? What time
Afternoon.
is it? Afternoon. Mahmoud says afternoon. Does anyone have any other answers?
I think night.
Okay. You think night. So one of them thinks night.
Ma'am,
Any
I
other
think
answer?
evening.
I
think
believe
evening.
it's would be sorry.
No, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Evening. Fazlul Karim sir says it's evening.
Evening.
Okay, sir?
It seems to be evening or probably late hours of night because the what do you say, the lamp is lit on the roof, which is hanging on the roof, as well as on the left hand side. It seems to be lit, and the fire work is on, so probably it indicates that it could be actually evening in winters.
Excellent. Yes, Akhil sir is absolutely right. Look at the things that are happening. The fireplace is lit, the lamps are lit, they're having tea. We probably have tea late at night, but most people don't. I sometimes have tea late at night, but I'm sure you don't. A lot of you don't. Most people don't. Most people have tea in the late afternoon or in the evening. One child is doing her homework. Looks like it. She's doing her math homework. And all of this indicates that this is evening. Maybe just, the closing of the day. All right, dawn, this might, dusk, this might be dusk. So in here, it would be around Maghrib.
Right.
In Dhaka, it would be around Maghrib. The day is coming to a close. They're having their last tea for the day, and the kids are starting to do their homework and their stamp collections, scrapbooks, and then time goes on. Look at the windows. Seems to be getting dark. Yeah. There's not much color out there, which means the sun is probably setting or has set. Yeah. This should be included in your description. This should be included in your description. You should try to include things like this in your description. Make assumptions, make interpretations, looking at things around it. So if I were to describe this picture, I would start like this. Well, this looks like the closing of a day on Friday. This looks like Friday evening. And grandma and dad are having tea while the kids either play or start to do their homework. Looking around the room, the home looks very cozy. There are flowers on the mantelpiece, and there are nice pictures, some pictures of nature and their own house around the room. And there's a dog sleeping in front of the fireplace, which is lit, giving the entire room warmth in the chilly weather. So this is how I would go on about it. But your descriptions were more or less to the point. Any questions regarding what activity we are doing today? Any questions? Anything you want to know?
No, ma'am.
Muslim sir, yes. Acha, no problem. The next one, the next picture. Yeah, we have time. We have time. The next picture. Anything else? Anyone else have any questions?
Ma'am, in my description, have any grammatical problem?
A little bit. A little bit. Your subject verb agreement needs a little bit of more work, but that's something I already told you before, right?
Yes.
So yes, I did not have any new feedback to give you. Your description was well. Your description was well.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Does anyone want to know why we are doing this? Anyone came late, or does anyone want to know why we are doing this instead of IELTS topics?
Yes, actually, this is the format of Duolingo, if I'm not wrong. You have to describe a picture instead of.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I haven't. I don't know much about Duolingo, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, it's there because I have just recently appeared for the test. Yeah, so it is there, but I just want to know why it is so. We are doing this, and secondly, I just want to know if it's the right platform to ask you whether Duolingo tests are acceptable in the UK universities as well. I can see there are 64 universities which are listed. I mean, on the Duolingo website. However, I'm not sure how many of them they accept because I have forwarded mails and asking them about the possibilities. So few of them they have said yes, and a few of them they said no, they don't entertain it anymore after the pandemic phase got over. So if you, as you are a resident there, so if you could just shed some light.
I'm a resident where?
You are in UK, is it?
I'm in Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Okay, I thought probably you are in UK.
No. Bobby sir is in UK. I'm not.
Okay, fine,
I'm not.
fine.
I'm in Dhaka.
Okay.
So I would not be the right person to ask this because I have absolutely no knowledge which universities are taking Duolingo in UK. You can call Nafisa at the office and you can ask her. She might be able to shed some light on that.
Oh, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the first question, why we're doing this, is that I wanted to, give you something else to talk about this time around. We've been practicing everything from IELTS, especially part 2, cue cards. This time I wanted to bring something new and see if you can cope with that. And you have been coping with that great. However, describing something is still part of IELTS. This is just a picture instead of a topic that I'm giving you. So describing pictures is something that you will be doing either to yourself or sometimes in normal conversations, also in formal conversations sometimes. Describing something that you see, being able to describe something that you see is necessary because it comes up all the time. Wherever you are, it is something that you need to be able to do. This is just some extra refreshing practice, something new that I want you to do because I still want you to describe something. Just this time, the difference is you're seeing it except instead of just reading a topic and describing something that you cannot see from your imagination. I just wanted to give your imagination some little push by showing you a picture that you can describe. See? So I thought a different activity would probably make some of you want to talk more. That's just all. All right? If this doesn't work, we'll go back to only IELTS from next week. But different kind of speaking activities give your speaking practice more variation, at least in my opinion. All right, so this is why we're doing this today. Now, before we move on to the next image, any questions?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
When we will face our IELTS exam, and if this exam any unfamiliar topic is come, then how we will deal this question?
Okay. If any unfamiliar topic comes that you have no experience with, borrow a story, borrow an experience. For example, describe a plane journey you went on. For example, now you have never been on a plane. Like, I don't even remember when the last, I was maybe 3 when I was on a flight the last time, the only time. I don't remember it. But what I will do is I will borrow a story from somewhere, from a book, from a movie, from someone I heard who had a plane ride, who had an experience in a plane ride. What I will do is I won't use my own experience because I have none. I will take another experience and make it mine. I will tell the story as if it was my own experience. The last time I was asked in my IELTS speaking test that I had to describe the last time I went to my own countryside, my own village. Now, I don't have a village. Pesher bari, gramer bari jeta. I don't have that. I am from Puran Dhaka, and that is why I cannot have an experience of going to my own countryside. What I did was I knew about experiences from my friends, and I went on a tour in a rural, semi-rural area. So I kind of combined my friend's experience and my own experience on a trip and made the story mine. The last time I went to my own countryside, my own Deshelven, I spoke for 2 minutes, but the experiences were not mine. Most of the experiences were from my friends, the stories that I have heard them say over the years. See? So when you have an unfamiliar topic that you have no experience on, you have no idea about, borrow your experience, make it your own. Tell the story like it's your own experience, not someone else's. Salim sir, does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am, it's a very good idea, huh? But it's take more time for organizing idea. And
True. True.
yes, thank you,
The
ma'am. Thank
only solution for that would be more practice.
right.
The more topics you practice, the better you are at describing unfamiliar things because you come across a lot of unfamiliar topics.
Right.
So making an answer up in your head becomes easier. I'm an expert at making things up now. I mean, I will probably go to hell for lying if I did that. But for IELTS, a little bit of lying might be necessary. Yeah, you have never been somewhere, but you're saying that I've been there, I've done this, I've done that. Now you need to pass the test. You need marks.
Yes.
You cannot say, yeah,
Right.
I've never had this experience. So you need to make up your own stories. All right?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
No problem. Any other question regarding speaking test, speaking practice, or shall we move on to the next practice? Nothing else? Okay. Now, let's move on to the next practice. Just a moment. cannot find it. Give me a moment, please. Have some patience. All right. Now, I will be showing you a picture. I want you to take 1 minute, or let's say 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, and then you'll tell me a story about this picture. You won't describe the picture, you will tell me a story about what you see in the picture. All right? I will be showing you a person, someone all of you know. Huh? You will tell me a story. Is that understood? What I want you to do?
Yes.
Great. So let me share the picture with you, and we'll give you 90 seconds.
Yes.
All right. So your 90 seconds for thinking and note-taking begins now. All right, your time is up. Masumilla sir, you wanted to speak. Let's start with you. Can you please turn on your video? All right. Your time, be speaking for 1.5 minutes. All right, your time starts now.
There is a one athletic person, and he looks like very much energetic, and he also has lots of capabilities to climb back on the hill. And as far as I'm concerned, already he has completed lots of milestones as well. And right now he is the top of the moon. And honestly, it seems to me he is wearing, not, he's wearing some dresses that is quite, he feel also relaxed to long way. Even he also wear shoes by which he feel not so comfortable to go around and to move around the hillside as well. As far as I'm concerned, he's very much, he has not strong muscle as well as then he can take any types of challenges whenever he needs. So this is for actually from my realization, I think he he can do any types of he can meet any types of challenge and success as well. So yes, and in the finally I should say wearing some less dress, it makes him lots of comfort as well as some freedom and flexibility to move around.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Thank you very much. Nasim sir, what is his name?
Sorry.
The picture that I'm showing you, what's his name?
Actually, I don't know.
This is Superman.
Okay.
Superhero, Superman. I think Henry Cavill is returning as Superman. Anyway, that's not the point. The point was to tell a story about Superman. That was the activity. Not describing what you can see. Tell a story about this person. Huh? So if you don't know who this is, make it up. However, there are some universal things that if you make up, the examiner will know. If you call this Batman, the examiner will know. Acha. So since you don't know this person, I cannot expect you to tell a story about him. But this could be a little bit of a problem for you if you're not much informed about, say, common things. Superman is a quite common name. So a little bit of practice, a little bit of, general knowledge, general understanding could help with your speaking as well. All right? Thank you,
Madam,
sir.
আমি একটা বিষয় জানতে চাই, সেটা হচ্ছে পার্ট 2 তে যে সময় আমরা বলি তখন হবে মানে টোনটা হবে স্টোরি টেলিং। এপ্রোচে পার্ট 2 কিউ কার্ডটা ডিল করা। তো আসলে স্টোরি টেলিংটা অ্যাপ্রোচটা কিরকম, যদি আমি বিষয়টা আসলে ওইভাবে ক্লিয়ার না, যে স্টোরি টেলিংটা কোন সেন্সে বলা হচ্ছে, কিভাবে যেটা থাকা উচিত, যদি একটু শেয়ার করতেন সবার জন্য মানে ভালো। পার্ট 2 টা স্টোরি টেলিং।
When we talk about part 2 storytelling, it's like they're asking you to describe something or someone, some place, some event, some activity. So when you're describing it, it should have a progression. Ulto palta bolle hobe. You cannot just pick out information and just tie them together. It has to have a progression, a beginning, a middle, an end. Like you're saying a story, you're telling a story. So what storytelling means is when whatever you're describing, it has to go in sequences. See, like I said, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Storytelling is a kind of speaking aspect that is not like any other. For example, if you talk about a documentary, it's a lot of fact strewn together. That style is not storytelling. If you listen to things like, what should I say, travel blogs, that those tell stories wherever they're going, whatever they're doing. Those tell some good stories. And then audiobooks, it's like reading a story is a book, but it's like hearing the story being told. Audiobooks help you tell stories. Listen to people. There's this thing called puthipat, which is basically telling stories. So if you can listen to people telling stories, TED Talk is a good way. TED Talk is a good place to listen to people's stories. There are hundreds and thousands, I think, of TED Talk videos on YouTube. Listen to those. People tell you their stories, success stories, failure stories. Those are a good way to practice storytelling. TED Talk. TED Talk is your best option.
Thank you.
All right. Now, does anyone else want to talk about Superman? All right.
Ma'am, could I tell?
Yes, Salim sir, please start. Acha, apara hat tulতে থাকেন. Raise your hands. Let's go back to raising hands.
Well, I'm going to tell a story about the Superman. When I was a child, I was eagerly waiting to watch this program, whose name was Superman, and it was aired on BTV. The BTV means Bangladesh Television. It is located in Bangladesh, in the southern subcontinent of the world. That means the Indian subcontinent. So we watched it very interestingly because Superman could be able to do any sorts of difficult tasks, and that was very unimaginable to us. So Superman inspired the then children to be like him. For that reason, we are very waiting to watch these types of program. Ma'am, it's okay.
Okay, that's all then. All right. Yes, this is something I've heard my mother talk about. Like they used to wait in front of BTV to watch Superman and other shows. I think there was one called MacGyver.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I watched it later in life, and I thought it was brilliant. There's a new MacGyver. I don't know if you've seen it. But the new MacGyver is not bad as well. Anyway,
Ma'am.
Slim sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I think your past tense needs work. Huh? It used to be aired. It was aired now. Was means it was aired one time. No, it used to be aired on BTV, on the television. So you watched it with a lot of interest. You watched it with a lot of interest. Huh? And
Yes.
we are very waiting. We used to wait eagerly. So when you're telling the story, all these. Yes, Salim sir, are you saying something?
Yeah, no, miss, no.
Now, so when you're describing something from the past, using words that describe your feelings or your actions at the time, when you're telling a story, your actions and your feelings, why you did this, why you did that, using adjectives makes your speech much more understandable and relatable, as well as, vividly imaginable. So if you're saying that we as kids used to eagerly wait in front of the television for Superman, like every Friday maybe, the listener or the examiner can visualize a bunch of kids sitting in front of the TV waiting for Superman. So if you can make it imaginable by using words, adjectives, huh? For example, I know my uncles told me that they used to use their mother's red saris to make capes. They used to cut the saris up and make capes, and my grandmother beat them up for this. I know a lot of boys did that at the time. That would destroy their mothers or sisters' saris for making capes. So these things make your stories much more vivid. Colors, surroundings. For this picture, there are no surroundings, but when you're describing something, an event or a place or a person, think about the colors, the surroundings that you can describe. Huh. That makes it that makes it flash in front of the listener's eyes and makes your speech much more solid. Huh. But your attempt was really good. It was really good. Just a little bit of tense, subject verb agreement in terms of tense, past tense. That is something you need to work on. All right, sir? Any questions? I cannot hear you. Are you speaking, Salim sir?
Sorry, miss, sorry. Actually, I have no question, and all things is clear to me.
Okay. Now you can turn off your audio and video. Masoom sir, you haven't spoken yet. Can you turn on your audio and video? Masoom Rahman sir?
Oh, acha, Masum,
Rahman sir, my mistake. I should have said that whole name. Masoom Rahman sir, can you turn on your audio and video? All right. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Your time starts now.
Hello. May I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible. I can hear you. Your time starts now.
Okay. Okay. In these pictures, I have seen this man is he is a Superman. He is a I have seen a lot of movies, which is one of them is Spider-Man, and he wear those dress is like a Spider-Man. And Spider-Man movies, basically we show we seen that those are they are superhero, and they solve with the difficult they solve there are difficult tasks to people and who are in facing problem, and they basically Spider-Man basically solve numerous problem, and they are strength, speed, and ability to detect the danger with the protection ability there. And this Spider-Man movie is basically in American movies, and this is the one of the sign of good of the superheroes. So yeah, Spider-Man is most of popular in childhood, child age peoples, and nowadays in many adults they likes the movies, uh, the character of
All
Spider-Man.
right. Thank you very much. Masoom Rahman sir, Spider-Man koi pehle? This is Superman. You started with that Superman and then you moved on to Spider-Man.
স্পাইডারম্যানের মতনই তো দেখাচ্ছে।
This is Superman. You started well. He is a Superman. He's Superman, not a Superman. There's only one Superman, so you cannot say a Superman. He is Superman.
Okay.
Superman. This is not Spider-Man. But if you cannot identify, you can say Spider-Man. The examiner will be amused, but that won't be a problem. What examiner? You're not okay. Your storytelling needs work. When I say storytelling, tell me a story about Superman. The way Salim sir said that in his childhood or when they were young, they used to watch Superman. They used to wait to watch Superman on BTV once a week. That he talked about his childhood memory. So that was some sort of a story. You mostly described who this is and where they come from and who watches the target audience, children. Now adults watch it too. They're American and everything. When you're telling a story, these are the information that you will definitely put in there, but in the form of a story. Your information, the things that you said could be said like, well, I have never watched many superhero movies, but Superman is one that I always did. And Superman is American, basically a comic book hero who has been brought to the big screen. And if you know the names of any Superman actors, you can say that you've watched movies of that particular actor. These are the things that you can arrange into the format of a story. The storytelling format is basically a sequential speech that has a beginning, that has a middle, that has an end. It doesn't have to be an event all the time. It doesn't have to be an incident all the time. But when you're saying it, you should try to divide it into parts. You start with, yes, I know Superman, he's American. I have never watched many of his movies, but some I did. And then the middle part where you give us more information about who sees it, who watches it. Children watch it, but now some adults also watch it. He's one of the most popular superheroes all over the world. Even non-native Americans, people in the remotest parts of the world know at least a few superheroes, and Superman is one of them. Like you said, Spider-Man is also one of them. I think Spider-Man is the most popular superhero of all of these superheroes, Marvel and DC combined. And then you end with, there are more movies coming up that I am eagerly waiting to watch about Superman. Okay. Whatever you have watched or maybe you've heard of, make it your own experience, make it your own story. Maybe you haven't watched Superman movies, maybe you haven't watched Henry Cavill's Man of Steel, but your friend has. You have at least heard the name. Say it. Make it your own. I've watched Man of Steel in Boshuntara Cineplex. Even if you haven't, you can say it. Justice League, the DC movies, combined superhero movie. So maybe you haven't watched it, but you have heard it. You have seen on Facebook about Snyder Cut. There was a lot of controversy with that Justice League wasn't good enough, but Zack Snyder should have released his own cut. A lot of. If you know these information, you don't have to watch it. You can borrow your experiences from all around it. I haven't watched Man of Steel. I haven't watched Justice League. I don't watch many DC movies. The only DC superhero I like would probably be Flash. Huh. So I haven't Joker, not hero, anti-hero. I've watched Joaquin Phoenix Joker, but I haven't watched many superhero movies, Superman movies. But I can talk about them though, like I have watched all of them because I've heard from my mother. There was a Superman actor who then who was in an accident and probably paralyzed himself, and he could not continue with the franchise. And according to my mother, that was the best Superman to come on the screen. I think his name was Christopher Reeves. I haven't watched it, but I can talk about it. So you can borrow information that you have heard from other people, saw on social media, that you read somewhere. Make it your own story. All right, Azam sir?
All right, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am, for feedback.
No problem. You can also make up a lot of facts.
Yes, sure.
Stories. All right.
Thank
okay,
you
sir.
so much.
All right. My pleasure. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Well, this picture depicts the image of a Superman, which is quite familiar in the Western world. It's a superhero which is showcased in many comics and books as well as in movies, and he has a particular dress sense which is being portrayed in the picture. He is wearing a red cloth, which is he has tied it on his neck, and he has just pinned up in his t-shirt, and the t-shirt is of blue color, and there is a logo of Superman which is being depicted on the chest, which is of S shape, and he is wearing an underwear. It's a different way of portraying the underpants on Superman on a skin tight clothing, and he has a belt around his waist which is golden in color, and it matches with the logo. And he's wearing long boots which are red in color, and it can easily be make out that he seems to be a good uh, weight training practitioner, as the cuts in his thighs can be easily seen. So is in his arms and around his waist. And the hair, he has black hair, and a log of uh, hair is falling on his head. Probably it's his style, the way he carries himself. And the background is blue in color, and it seems as he is a superhero. He can fly. That's what is being depicted in most of the movies as well as in the comics. So probably he is flying over the ocean. That's what I can make it out. And he
Thank
just
you very much.
is about to land down. Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
very much. That was 2 minutes and very vivid description. What the piece of clothing that is around his neck, it's called a cape. Huh.
Kate, is it?
Yes, yes, it's a cape.
K-A-T-E?
C-A-P-E.
C-A-P-E. Thank you for a new word. Yeah, yeah.
So most of the superheroes have capes. And a cloak is something that you wear like a shawl, a little longer and flowy. I think British people use it more because of the cold. It's not a cloak, a cape. And what he wears, this kind of, it's called an outfit, a superhero outfit. It's skin tight unitards, and this is his logo. Your description was vivid. I think it's a mountain, not the ocean. I think it's a mountain.
Probably.
Looks like a mountain. Anyway,
Okay.
your description was very good. I was looking for a story, but I'll take the description. It was really good. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
And may I know what the word you use for the skin tight dress?
Unitard. One
Unitard.
piece.
How do you spell that?
UNITARD. Unitard.
Just a moment. U-N-I
TARD.
T-A-R-D. Unitard. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Fazul sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Tell me a story about Superman.
Thank you. It is clearly observed that it's a picture of a Superman, and I hear about the Superman so much. And basically, when I was young, that time a series was ongoing on the BTV. That time we were waiting for 1 week for watching this this series, but I didn't memorize what things was doing in this movie. But I have seen another movie like Superman related is Krish, and in this Krish, the Superman, the hero, Krish is a hero in this film, and he is a Superman, and he is doing any kind of activity is easily, like he is helping the people in any critical movement. And his father was a scientist, and that time in the billion was invented a virus, and it was very dangerous virus. And when the virus was spread, the day by day the people are dying. And in this case, his father invented a antidote against this virus. And a question was that how within a short time this medicine distributed all over the country. And that time Superman used the initiative step, and he distributed all the medicine all over the country. And even that's why he managed this situation. And another situation also shown in that movie, That's when any type of accidental issue like
All
once.
right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Fazal sir, that was great, but you could have, like you said, that you know another superhero like Superman, who is Krish, the Indian superhero.
Yes, yes.
The things that you described, you could have easily made it Superman's episodes. You remember that every week Superman used to be broadcast on BTV.
Yes.
So the story that you said, that there was this situation where Superman had to distribute all these things to the local people from his father, you could have made that story about Superman.
Yes.
Whenever you're talking about Superman, you know another superhero like this. Until then, it's fine. But what you're describing is Krish's story, right?
Yes.
Make it Superman's. I wouldn't have known. I don't remember. I haven't probably seen all the episodes. I wouldn't know.
Yes.
So you can. This is where making things up comes in handy.
Yes.
If you're describing Superman's adventures, you can just take Krish's adventure and put it into Superman's story. No one would know. See, this is
Yes,
how you
ma'am.
can stay
Yes,
true
ma'am,
to the
I can understand. It's like copy paste.
yes, with a little bit of customization. Yes,
Yes,
it's like
yes,
copy paste. No one
yes.
would know. Huh, no one would know, because if you're describing Krish's adventure as Superman's in your exam, the examiner wouldn't know.
Yes.
So it's fine. All right.
Okay.
That was really good. That was really good. Storytelling. This is how storytelling works. Say you know this superhero, you know a story about that superhero, and you're telling a story about that superhero. That works well. That works well. Okay, Fazlul sir, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you again, because I have got a lot of direction about these things. Thank you very much again.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay.
Sir, that's my job. All right. Does anyone else want to tell me a story about Superman? Anyone? Asan, I think it's been a while. Shoykot Malakar sir, do you want to talk?
Yes, ma'am. Can I?
Yes, you have 1.5 minutes. Please begin.
Okay. Superman is a superhero who appears in American comic book published by DC Comics. The characteristics was created by the writer Jerry Single, artist, and he is born in June 1938. It published April 18. Superman.
Uh-oh, he got disconnected. Acha, if he comes back, we can pick up where we left off. Now, Asan sir, I haven't spoken to you in a while. Are you here? Asan, can you hear me? Just give me one moment. I want to discuss something with you for last classes. I cannot seem to find the documents that I need. All right. If no one else wants to talk about Superman anymore, let's move on. Do you know about the band descriptors that you will be assessed on in IELTS? The 4 criteria: fluency and coherence, lexical resources, pronunciation, grammar range, and accuracy. You don't know the 4 criteria?
Yes, ma'am. No, but not detailed.
In your classes, I think the first speaking class, you did an activity that gave you some idea on what to do if you want specific, if you want to improve in any specific part or any specific criteria, right? There was a task with 20 points that you had to categorize, 20 sub-criteria that you had to categorize. You remember that?
No, ma'am. I missed that class.
It's on YouTube.
But
It's on YouTube.
at present, Bobby sir is teaching in her class and in her writing class, and this class is ongoing.
Yes, but the writing band descriptors and speaking band descriptors are writing band descriptors. That word is
Yes.
helpful. So yeah, those are different. Those are different.
Okay.
So speaking and writing band descriptors, you're supposed to, I mean, you need to know as much as you can. These are the speaking band descriptors. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you will find it on Google. I want you to download it and look through. 4 criteria are divided and they are also categorized by band. For example, what will you do if your speaking level is stuck at 5? Look at what 6 band descriptor says. Look at your fluency and coherence. If it's at 5, when you're talking, look at the points. Find out which ones you can do, which ones you still need to do. This is how you're assessed. For example, let's zoom a little bit and look at fluency and coherence. Have you seen this in class? Have you seen this in class?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So whatever your target is, look at the band descriptors. For example, if your target is 6.57, look at what band 7 says. Speaks at length without noticeable effort or loss of coherence. Related hesitation at times or some repetition and or self-correction. See, if you're repeating yourself a lot, self-correction happens. What happens is you start to speak, say a sentence, you stop midway and you start from the beginning again. That's what this means, self-correction, hesitation. If you show a lot of effort. I know this candidate who, when he's thinking, he closes his eyes and his brows are furrowed and he thinks like this. If the examiner can see you thinking like that, your marks will suffer. So these are the points that will give you at least 7, not more than that. At times, which means that you cannot hesitate all the time. If you hesitate all the time, you'll get less. But if your hesitation is minimal, sometimes you hesitate before you speak, then you get up to 7. So look through these. These are available on Google. Look through the speaking band descriptors and try to determine which ones you can do, which ones you're having trouble with. I hope that before next Sunday, you'll go through this, you'll find some problems and you'll talk to me about it in the speaking practice classes. Okay? If there are problems that you need solved regarding speaking, these classes are perfect for those. These are not just speaking practice classes, these are also problem solving classes. Any problem, any trouble you're facing, you can talk to me. I will do my best to give you a solution about it. All right?
Oh.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Let's look at band 4, fluency and coherence, the first one. Cannot respond without noticeable pauses and may speak slowly with frequent repetition and self-correction. See, frequent, and band 7 said at times, band 4 says frequent. If you look nervous, if you hesitate too much, if you're correcting yourself too much, like you're talking and you realize what you're saying is grammatically wrong, or you have a better word in mind, you start again. That is self-correction. If you do this too much, then you will get band 4, not more than that. This is why you need to look through these and determine your level of conversation. Now, what I can do is I can evaluate you band by band. Like in the next class, maybe we will only focus on fluency and coherence. I will ask you to speak on part 2 cue cards, or I will ask you part 3 questions. Just a moment, please. I have a really bad cold, my apologies. Now, maybe we will focus on fluency and coherence only. Okay. I will give you things to talk about, topics, pictures. Maybe I'll ask you part 3 questions so that you can talk a lot, and I will assess you just based on fluency and coherence. Wherever you are on fluency and coherence, we will look at this band descriptor and see where you are. Yeah. So before we do that, I would suggest you download this from the internet and try to go through it a little bit on your own. Any problem you have, I'll solve it for you. I'll try. Does that sound like a good idea? Going band by band?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did I
Ma'am,
become mute? How did I become mute? Okay, my apologies. I noticed. Anyway, what I was saying is, if you have any questions, any more questions regarding today's class or speaking in general, please ask. If you have no more if you have no more questions, we will wrap up today's class. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to know? If not, class is officially over. You may leave.
okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Shogut sir, didn't get to talk to you, didn't get to hear your story. I think you were just
Actually, ma'am, that time electricity was gone. That's why I cannot join.
okay. In the next practice class, we will start with you. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. With pleasure. Okay. There are no more questions.